Envelopes with a white powder substance were mailed to ICE facilities in Irving and in Dallas today.
They were not dangerous, but this was another attack on the Dallas ICE complex on Stemmons Freeway. In September, a sniper attacked that facility. No ICE agents were hurt, but 3 detainees were shot. 2 died. Fox 4's Sean Rabb joining us with what he's learned about today's incident. Sean?
Yeah, it was scary moments again inside that ICE facility on Stemmons Freeway when that letter labeled Dallas Field Office was opened by an employee discovering that white powdery-like substance inside at the same facility that's been a target since August.
You have to be under quite a bit of fear every time you enter that facility, and now with a substance threat, and that can be very worrisome.
That was the worry Friday morning as Dallas Police and Fire Rescue answered a 911 call for a white powder letter labeled Dallas Field Office opened by an employee. Firefighters in hazmat protective gear took the envelope. The FBI preliminary test showed the content was not critical, but certainly caused consternation.
It looks like, in this case, the substance is probably a bag of baby powder. That's typically what some of these criminals will do in order to create fear. But you have to worry that it could be some substance that could not only cause harm to you, but create some sort of situation where you bring that back to your family.
Eric O'Neill, retired FBI counterterrorism operative.
Yeah, ICE agents, especially in Dallas, and I'm sorry about that, have got to be on their toes and worried, watching their sixes and around the corners.
Because in August, when one man who threatened a bomb was arrested outside that facility on Stemmons Freeway, it was a hoax. Then, the September shooting incident. A sniper's bullet hit 3 detainees, killing 2. The building left bullet-riddled. The gunman took his own life, but also left evidence that his intended targets were agents. Now, the November nerve-wracking mailing of envelopes with a white powdery substance at that location along busy Stemmons Freeway, which makes it, O'Neill says, harder to defend.
You're right there on a street where there are many people, and so when one of these deranged people decides I'm going to strap something that looks like a bomb to myself and walk in and scare everybody, you know, they're right there. Or bring in some sort of powder and call it a substance and suggest that this is some kind of bioweapon.
While in other parts of the country, there's been clashes between agents and citizens, angry at ICE arresting immigrants. In North Texas, there's been more attacks, starting with the July 4th attack at the Prairie Land Detention Facility southwest of Fort Worth, where a police officer was shot but survived.
I think right now ICE is under fire from individuals who feel like they're righteous in committing these terrorist acts.
So it is a felony under federal law to use the mail to send anything that creates fear, especially if it contains some sort of substance that's even believed to be a biological weapon. So the FBI will be going through that envelope and the stamps on it, looking for any kind of DNA, trying to determine when and where it was purchased, as well as its contents, be it baby powder, as Eric O'Neill suggests, flour, or something else. They'll be trying to determine what exactly and where it came from.
Sean Rabb, thank you.